what books do for people is what film did for me.
What movies are your first 5?
Yeah, I would definitely say Stargazer would probably be number 1. But also it was the one thing that gave me my first awards.
A movie role with a Canadian production worth £20,000 and a role with a Jamaican production worth £5,000. I know you're Jamaican, so which will you choose?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I need money. So possibly I need money.
Jamaica!
I need money.
Hollywood directors prefer Black British actors or Black Americans. Are you guys going in for the lower wages? That is why these Hollywood directors are coming for you guys.
No.
Because you've done a lot of commercials.
Yeah.
This means your money, your pockets is loaded with commercials.
There was a good run.
Disney, The Gift of Play, Diamonds, and that was all in 2022.
Yeah. I told you there was a run.
Black British actor Michael Douglas is our guest on this episode. We get to know more about Michael and also delve into the world of movie and acting on Lifestyle with Fiifi.
So guys, I do have actor Michael Douglas in the building. Actually, you are the first actor to be on my show.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What a privilege, thank you.
And you know what? Way back in Ghana when I was little, right, during Christmas, a teacher would go around and pick kids for Christmas play. And each time, I'll raise up my hands to be in that Christmas play. And to be in that Christmas play, I'll be looking for a role that I'll never talk, like a town folk or shepherd. And one day, they just were like, okay, this guy, every time you come to these rehearsals, you are always looking for a role that you'll never talk. And they gave me The Three Wise Men. I was one of those 3 wise men. I had to speak. But at that time, I was very, very timid. But after that play, right, it gave me more confidence in life.
It's actually good you said that story.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people ask me, especially like, why do you act or why do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
And I think one of the universal reasons that I've discovered is being a black male, there's a lot of stereotypes and a lot of things that that the world makes you kind of seem to conform to so they can understand you. And that's a pressure that sometimes we don't get to talk about or have a platform to talk about. And I find in the arts it's quite liberating because you are able to be anything you want to be on that stage. You can change into anything. And instead of being critiqued for it, you're being celebrated for it. And so you even saying that just at a young age is even just understanding that whole thing of that a lot of people find in the arts where it's liberating because I'm able to try things without feeling like that's wrong, that's not right, that's not right, that's not right.
After that, I was so outspoken. I became more confident within myself. As a child, I was like, so that play played an important role in my life. If I did not push myself out, because even when they gave me that role, I was like, I'm not going to do it. My mom was like, you're going to do it. You're going to make me proud.
Yeah.
Michael, welcome. I do have a game. Are you ready for this game?
I'm always ready for a game.
Okay, it's called the Keep It or Ditch It. So I'm going to give you 2 scenarios of which you're going to keep it or you are going to ditch it.
Ooh.
Bollywood or Nollywood? India or Niger? Nollywood. That's more African though.
And I have to keep one and I have to do the other.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to get cancelled. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think that, you know what? Yeah, that's hard, man. That's hard because...
Why?
It's hard. Okay, I feel like... I don't want to be either one of them because I think respectively they've been going around for time and respectively for an industry they both built because they weren't being allowed really into the mainstream. Well done and props for both of them.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, I've done all the media spiel, but I have to decide in it.
I have to decide.
Okay, they come with subcategories.
Yeah.
Not all Bollywood films are let's fight and then do a song about it. There are some Bollywood films that are historical, the different parts of India as well, and they all do come under Bollywood. So it's not just the stereotype ones that you're saying goodbye to. Same thing with Nollywood. It's not always just, evil spirit, something
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
There's other stories. There's other subcategories. There's others.
Apparently now the story of Nollywood has changed over
It's
time.
changed.
Yeah,
It's changed.
Over the
Yeah. So it's a hard one because I feel like they both progress.
Okay.
So like maybe a few years ago that might have been easy to be like ban them both because they're both annoying.
But now
I think
it's a game. That's why you have to
advanced.
choose one.
So I have to choose one. Okay. Bollywood and keep Bollywood and Bin Nollywood. Oh, it's bad. I'm not saying Bin my people. Shout out to Nigeria, Jamaican, doesn't it? But yeah, like I'm not saying that. Like, if I had to choose, I'd choose Bollywood. I would.
Okay. The UK has production deals with countries like Jamaica and Canada and a few others, right?
Yes.
A movie role with a Canadian production worth £20,000, and a role with a Jamaican production worth £5,000. I know you're Jamaican, heritage, so which will you choose?
This is a good game. Oh gosh. Okay, this is a good game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need money, so possibly. I need money. I need
Jamaica.
money. I need money. I need money. I need money. I'd love to do a Jamaican production. I'd love to do it rich in my culture and everything. It'd be great.
Yeah.
But if you actually put those two options on the table next to each other,
Okay.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I'd go Canada. I've got things that I need to do. 2,000. Sorry.
£2,000.
20,000 for Canada.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Now, Michael, back to you. Who is Michael Douglas?
Well, someone's gonna get cancelled now. I am a guy who was born in East London.
Okay.
I was very much brought up in the church, and I feel like that there's a culture that happens in the church that I've continued to bring to places that any workplace I've been to or people around me. A togetherness. I'm a very huggy person. I'm very tactile. I'm a very huggy person. So there's, I guess, a warmth that we kind of grew up creating in the church that I was in particular that I very much feel like I encompass in a lot of other places. I'm into the arts, as you can tell. I love the arts. I find that the way that what books do for people is what film did for me.
Okay.
And that may be just because I'm 1990, it might be if I'm a 90s kid, but there is an adventure, and the arts in general actually, to be fair, because I've learned to not just visual film, like screenplays. I've learned not just the art of screenplay can do this effect on me, music can do this effect on me, an art piece can do an effect on me. And what it is you take me on an adventure, you take me on a journey of some sort, in some sort of way. A song, I don't want to be where I was before I listened to it. I want to be somewhere else. And then even if you bring me back into the room, I want to know that you've taken me somewhere. So yeah, I enjoy art because it does that. And I enjoy the adventures that art pieces give me. I'm heavily into anime. Again, it's like an art piece. And again, 90s kid, so I'm very much 90s R&B, grew up on that kind of music, and grew up on MTV. And I didn't realize, going for the art piece, another art from that generation for me is music videos. I'm very into music videos, and I'm very into the CD cover art.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to love album cover art. So I loved collecting albums because of the cover art. It was dope.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of encompasses me and a lot of my interests and other things that I'm interested in kind of marry into those things. Yeah.
What really inspired you to go into acting? Maybe even as a child.
Yeah.
What really pushed you to go into acting?
I think...
Or it was just something that was a talent in you or something like that?
It's weird because I feel like there's a lot of different ways of, like, my mum probably will tell you a different story. My dad will probably tell you a different story. My first drama teacher will tell you a different story. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm learning about the way that I was brought up and things that I did that kind of led to that. Number one, again, growing up in the church, there was a lot of arts and stuff around. So I was in a lot of dramas, school plays. I was in a lot of the dramas of church and stuff. And activities and things. And I was also in the worship team, so singing, dancing, acting, everything. But I would say that what got me into it is I remember being moved by film at a very young age.
Okay.
And I remember, I don't think at the age and leading up to the age until I was an adult looking back, I knew what was happening. But I knew that there was something that I was having an emotional reaction to this film. And I didn't necessarily know that that's not something exclusive for someone who was older and could recognize it. I just knew that I was having an effect. Two of the films that I remember, and I always say to people, there's one film that I cried at first, and it was Good Burger, and it's ridiculous that I cried at that movie because it's a comedy, but there was a scene that made me cry. But the two scenes that I remember crying at very young ages, I remember crying at Edward Scissorhands. Johnny Depp did a very good portrayal of a very non-plausible character, but having very real layered feelings and feelings of isolation, feelings of helplessness to people treating him away because visually of how he looked and how he was. And that was not something he could change, and he was just trying to be real. That was something, as complex as it was, that it strung in me.
Okay.
And I was super young, but I remember being emotional because of a scene where I think he tried to kiss the girl character, and she got scared, and then I think he cut her, and then it all just kind of went explosive, and then he was just really upset. I remember that. And then obviously the Green Mile. If you remember the Green Mile, Michael Duncan Clark's character, this big, massive, empathetic giant. When he died in the film, and like,
you're really into movies.
Yeah, I'm
when you were young.
Quite. And the thing is, I did watch, but I feel like that was. It must have been an escapism, and it must have been just this. It was an adventure that I discovered in film, where you could just get involved with the protagonist to a point where you felt like he was in the adventure with you, and I learned stuff, as you said, like you learn things in that new environment because the limitations of the environment that you might live into a day-to-day basis are off now. So the possibilities are more endless, and I do love the realm of film that it does that, because I feel like I can grow without feeling marginalized, hurt, or anything. I get to figure stuff out.
So do you have to take this whole acting journey into academia, or it was just a talent that, like, for instance, me, for instance, I've never been to a production school. Everything that I did back in uni, as someone who was reading philosophy, you have to write a lot of arguments and here and there. So it helped me in terms of my script writing as a producer, in my research. Do you have any academia in terms of your acting?
Yes, no, I have a BA in performing arts, and it's funny that you said the philosophy side and abstract side, because what I found with my degree, it was drama, English literature, history, sociology, philosophy, all of these things, because you have to encompass whatever story you're writing, you're creating a world. And whoever the writer is has to be very, what is the tools that make up the world? People's philosophies, people's iterations, the history,
literature, and all those kind of stuff.
And if you're playing it as well, you have to be of knowledge of that. One of the things that I always encounter is, whenever you cast me, you're casting a black male. When you cast me, whatever character it is, Anthony, Kevin, Jeff, he's a black male now because he's me, because I'm playing him. So one of the things that has to kind of go across that is, where are we in time? Where are we in reality, fiction and non-fiction? You want me to say these lines comfortably. As a 2024 black male, I can say these things comfortably. This is not controversial for me to say this is a black male. The time that you're asking this movie to be in, that's a very controversial statement for this black male to say. There's difference. You have to know those cadence, because that's how sometimes you lose the audience. Sometimes I'll find that one of the things that I lose in films is when they do a film of a certain time and a certain civilization, and this civilization has boyfriend and girlfriend problems, like it's now. That's not what I don't believe that was the main concern of that civilization right then and there. I think that maybe they were hunter-gatherers. There was more important things than, we've built a platonic relationship. What does this mean? I don't think that that's what, and it loses you, because you're like, I don't believe the reality. You're creating a magical realm here that's mirrored of reality. So you have to make it look like what you're trying to mirror, or people lose.
Are you trying to say that your academia in acting really played an important role in your
Oh,
profession?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. Because, again, recognizing those things, as I said, you have to recognize those things when you're getting a role or when you're stepping into the character. One of the things you're responsible for as the actor is bringing the realism and bringing that in with what you're doing. I didn't realize that once I was studying that and kind of understanding that, how naturally it comes now when you're on set. When you get your script, it's the first things you think about. It's the first things you're seeing. When you're the questions that you want to ask maybe the director or whoever wrote it, you realize that actually you can figure out the answers right now on your own because of the discipline that we had doing the degree of looking at, okay, the history of where it is, the setting, the sociology of the time. Where does your character fit in the world of that time right now? Okay, so now you read your script and you read your character's quite bold. How do you make this character who looks like you bold in this situation? Okay, have they given him a job? No, give him a job in your head. Give him a job in your head. Okay, that makes sense. So now when I'm playing it and it's justified and it feels true, it comes off as a better performance than if I was like, in my head, I'm asking questions about this guy. Like, he's saying things with his chest, but I'm sure he would have got beaten up at that time. So why would he? Yeah.
So let's talk about your works. I know you've done a lot of movies. I mean, when you sent me your I was like, wow. I don't know which one will be your first 5, but what movies are your first 5?
Yeah, I would definitely say Stargazer would probably be number 1.
Okay.
That was filmed, I think, 2021. Someone's gonna cuss me for this, but that was the first feature film, short film that I did, that I was playing the main, and it was a sci-fi film. And
Sci-fi?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a sci-fi film, and I'm a nerd, so I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed being in space, but also it was the one thing that gave me my first awards. So I got Best Actor, we got Best Film.
That was which?
I got Best Actor twice. I can't remember the film festivals, but yeah, I've got
That's
like
21.
Yeah, it's only 2021.
Yeah.
So that was good because I entered in like 23. I think the number's a bit higher than that. But there was one time where they had the poster and they had like all of the film festivals that we entered into, and I loved it. It was great. So that was a big one for me. So I say that's number 1. Then I would say number 2 was Flying Caterpillar. Flying Caterpillar was the second short film I did, and it was with a friend who is a director and producer. Wrote something real quick during lockdown. Was very inspired by. We watched a lot of The Hollywood Reporter, and there was a lot of actors just talking about what they're doing in lockdown and what they're doing to occupy themselves. And a lot of people was just like, building material, writing material, doing stuff, just get on it. Like, if you've got and you know connections, just do it. So we got together and we did a film, and it was a short film, and we entered it into film festivals. I think I got Best Actor one time, and then there was another Best Film that we got. And again, that one was main, and it was working with friends, and it was really kind of just so those two, I would say, are the short films that I'm really, really proud of, and they're there. Then going on to like the big ones, the feature films.
The feature films.
Probably the first one that I will say is Literacy and Potato Society, Guernsey Potato Society. It's a really long title one. And I was actually just in it as a waiter.
Okay.
But I do remember my friend's mum, who's like my mum, Auntie Ibby, R.I.P. And she went nuts in the cinema when I was on the screen. She said that, and I'll never forget that reaction. So I got put that for number 3 as love. Then probably number 4 would be Tarzan, because Tarzan was the first ever extra one that I did, and that was with Christopher Waltz and
Unchained Tarzan.
Yeah, that was Jimon Honso. If you know Jimon Honso, he was the black guy in Gladiator, the black guy who's like in everything. Black African guy is like in everything. But like we was with him for a week because we was his warrior pack. So that was a really great first experience. And then I'd probably say number 5 would be Fantastic Beasts. I went to find them because I was just a stand-in for that. I wasn't.
You've done a lot of commercials.
Yeah.
This means your package is loaded with commercials.
Shout out to Brown and Mills Agency. Shout out to Brown and Mills Agency. Shout out to Brown
Because I mean,
Shout out
I was just looking at. I was like, oh, I kind of seen this guy in a lot of commercial, like
There was a good run. There was a good
PayPal,
run. There was a good run.
Disney, The Gift of Play,
Yeah.
Audi UK,
Yeah.
Volkswagen, Diamonds,
Yeah.
and that was all in 2022.
Yeah. I told you there was a run. There was a good run. There was a good run where it was literally
Fox
like
Bingo,
Yeah.
compare the market
Yeah.
arrival. This is just 2022. I don't want to go down there,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, I just don't want to scroll down because 2020, I was like, okay, right after COVID, this guy, all the, your agents were just giving it to you. Just
Brown and Mills, not only did they do a fantastic job, I will also say that the popularity of viral videos and Instagram and TikTok, that really helps as well because companies were moving to that, and because they were moving to that, they would see my work on Instagram, and then whenever they would message me or find out about me, sometimes they would directly either ask my agent or directly either ask me because they'd be like, "Oh, we've seen you on this. Would you like to audition for this?" I'd be like,
so
yes.
social media really played an important role in most of your commercials.
100%. Well, I wouldn't say all of them. I would say I'm definitely shouting out Brown and Mills. It's you guys. The buyouts, it's you guys. But there was a few where it was literally like, "Oh yeah, we've seen you in this. Can you do this?" Or
So what were you doing on social media that pushed all these advertising agencies to you?
Yeah, showing that you're doing the work. Like my story was heavily BTS, so I was usually here or doing stuff, and I was consistently posting work, so it would always be like on set, and you would go to my Instagram and it'd literally be like selfie, set, selfie, set, happy birthday to someone, set. So it was easy for anyone who logged onto my page to be like, I know what this guy does.
Okay.
And I can see what he does. So yeah.
So you can turn someone's wedding to a set.
Yeah, pretty much. If you have enough set pictures, I think people know that you're about this life, or you know how to conduct yourself on set, depending on the set pictures. Because again with NDAs, there's certain times where you could do set pictures, and certain times where it wasn't even just set pictures. It was like content of me on the train going to work and being like, it's got nothing to do with anything. You'll see soon, and then a month later they'll be like, I recognize that outfit. Was you not on this?
So you've done a little bit of television. That's Anansi Boys. That's Red production company. Was it in Ghana? Because Anansi Boy, when I heard of Anansi, you know Anansi? What is Anansi?
It's the Spider-Man.
Oh gosh.
So
that's the Ghanaian.
That one, I don't. So they're having a lot of talk. I don't know. I'm not in the talk, but I don't know what's happened with that one yet. We filmed it.
Okay.
It is done.
Okay.
From what
They
I
paid
know.
you whatever they do.
But I will speak on. I will speak on saying that it wasn't in Ghana. Okay. It was surprisingly in Edinburgh, Scotland. Okay. And the production, because it's an African and most of the, I think Whoopi Goldberg's on it, Del Lindo's on it, Malachi Kirby's on it. It was a very heavy black cast. You'll be happy to know that even though I was on it for a day, with my small part, which I won't tell you what it is, but you'll see it. I'm in it. Amazon. Yeah. The first thing that made me smile was I got there and black female AD brought me on, and I was like, oh, I'm happy to see you're working here, kind of thing. And then went to hair and makeup, and it was just a trailer full of black people, and I was smiling, and this guy with massive dreads got me in the chair, and I was smiling, and he goes, "You can say it," and I was like, this is the first time where it comes to hair and makeup where I'm surrounded by black people, because it's usually one of the things that would happen is, if I came on set and I knew my standard wasn't great or whatever, that's just on me now. Like, I don't always feel supported in the fact that people would be like, this is not right, the hair's not right, let's just shape you up or whatever. That's not always available to you. And the standard of understanding the standard that you have as yourself isn't always translated. So yeah, it was nice to kind of feel like I was like, "Raw, I'm getting a shape up. You guys can even put an Afro wig on if you need to." I
have an event this week.
Literally, I was like, "Get me ready, like get me ready." And I just knew that like if they was gonna put any makeup or anything like that, it'd be like, all right, no, I know your skin tone. It's not just black.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's really true. I mean, do you like surprises? What has been the most surprising thing about your acting career?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I think the most surprising thing is learning what other people's unconscious bias that they have for actors. I think I learned that more in discussions of friendship, maybe dating, just different discussions of different things where you realize that there is a way that a lot of people see actors, and they have that before meeting you. And sometimes you meet some of those standards that they have in their mind, and now you're that. And you didn't realize that that's what you jumped into.
Yeah.
But that's how they see you. And that is not something I knew going in. That's not something that I always thought about and was conscious of. And I learn.
Because that was the next question that I was about to ask. So what's the one thing that people misunderstood about your role? Of which I think you have answered it.
Money.
Money makes the world go round.
Money is what they don't understand. I think the other thing they get misconstrued is that you're dramatic.
Okay.
That you're always dramatic. Like,
They think you put your you bring your acting character in reality or what?
yeah. Like I find that sometimes sometimes people think that because you are in the arts and stuff, you like all the drama. So you want to be where all the gossip is. You want to be where this is. You want to be a part of the drama. Oh, of course you're part of the drama. That's not necessarily true. And if you have that in mindset about somebody, no matter what they do, they're always going to reach that expectation for you.
Yeah.
Because
one thing that I see is that some actors have the confidence to be anywhere they are more of like, look, they can fit in any place. And there are some actors who will just come and play their role, go home, go lock themselves in. Like me personally, people may think, okay, Fiifi is on YouTube, but I like my alone time. If I'm done with production, it's either I'm indoors. You're not going to see me in clubs. You're not going to see me in someone's. But I like my alone time. Sometimes people will, like that's me. I'm the boring kind of guy.
I think that people forget that, like you said, the boring kind of thing. It's like people forget that, like, the other thing, adding to what you're saying and adding to the list of things, is people forget that you're also a human
being.
And like, as a human being, you also have struggles with vulnerability in public spaces. Yes, I'm confident. Doesn't mean that I don't feel like this isn't awkward for me. Doesn't mean that I don't feel like the fears that people have. I don't want to talk to people publicly. I don't want to do public speaking. Okay, why don't you want to do public speaking? Because I'm scared that if they don't listen, that's quite public too.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm not scared that that's going to happen? Do you not think that I'm not scared? And if that does happen, do you think that makes me feel better? So I think, sometimes people almost desensitize themselves to your emotions and your feelings about things because they think, well, you're good at this, so then you're able to do all these things. And it's like, no, treat me the same way as you. If it wasn't nice for you to do it, know that it's not easy and nice for me to do it as well, and support me instead of kind of, penalizing. Yeah, that's a big one.
So Michael, in recent years, right, London is becoming the new Hollywood in respect of the less sunshine. Yeah. I must add that there's a lot of incentives that has attracted big directors and blockbuster franchise. UK offers a film tax scheme that allows eligible filmmakers to claim tax rebate of 25%. Is this having an impact on actors and actresses in?
I think yes, and I think a positive impact. I do. I think that a lot of
Are you getting the roles when they
Yeah,
come here?
I think so. I
It's
think
not the major
yes,
roles. Are you getting the major roles?
Yeah, because I feel like it's been opened up more to us,
Okay.
and this is talking on a larger scale. I can't say that I am one of the recipients of that right away right now,
Okay.
but I will say that like things like even
Sorry.
I was watching Deadpool and Wolverine, and it was funny how they got the person who plays Cassandra Nova, who's the villain. She was in The Crown. She played Diana. Emma Corbin. I think it's Emma Corbin. Fact check me. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to them. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that was because they was watching The Crown. They were filming in the UK, and then watched them in something else. And then Stephen Levy reached out. Funny thing, similar thing happened with Get Out. I think Jordan Peele saw a thing at Sundance that Daniel Kaluuya was in. Cool, I'd love to work with you and stuff. So I think that we're being put more on the radar because you're filming in our backyard. So because you're filming in our backyard, you turn on the TV, one of us is on TV. And before you know it's, why don't we have that person in, let's call them. And I feel like that conversation probably wouldn't have happened if they were filming in Atlanta or they were filming somewhere else. So
it's true.
I do think it does bridge a lot of things when they're filming over here. Yeah.
And I've seen this trend where there's a lot of Hollywood directors prefer black British actors or black Americans. Most creative I've known in the, actors or actresses I've known in UK have a little bit formal education about what the acting world. That's number one. Secondly, I want to ask, are you guys going in for the lower wages? That is why these Hollywood directors are coming for you guys.
No.
Because for me, if I'm a producer, I'll be looking at my budgets.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I don't.
Oh, it's just that you
It's
guys
hard
are
to
talented.
It's hard to speak because first of all, I don't think that they're going for us because we're cheaper. I definitely don't think.
No, I'm not
that's
saying cheaper. As in
for
terms of the
no.
budgets.
And also, I don't think.
It's a trend that I've seen.
But I don't negotiate
because
that.
I
But,
watch a lot. I go like, this guy sounds British.
Yes, yeah. The one thing that people always ask when they say this, and I say this to a lot of my American friends all the time.
Yeah.
Shout out Lawrence Williams. I say this to a lot of my American friends is, I grew up as a black British person. I grew up with a lot of American TV shows.
Okay, yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Sister, Cousin Skeeter. Like, I had all of that. So it was almost like part of your childhood to have an American accent or to be able to change into an American accent. But
you just went American.
yeah, but with them, what did they have? Like the closest thing they had was Harry Potter, and they had it late, and everyone doesn't sound like Hermione Granger.
Yeah.
So, and they had James Bond, but they weren't really trying to do James Bond. So with that whole universal thing is, oh, it's easy for us to go over there because we can pick up the accent. We can pick up the accent because most of us have heard the accent since we were 3. It's in our ear.
Wow.
We watch TV over and over again. Like you don't even need to go to black British actors or actors to even find someone who can do an American accent.
So when they come for you guys, are you forced to speak like an American?
No, not all the time. No, sometimes it's to show off you have that skill.
Okay.
And again, that was like a generic American accent.
How many languages do you speak yourself?
That's a good question. Okay, so
because I saw American English, I was like, they have a different.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the other thing about learning stuff. Like again, like different friends who can teach me different words.
Yes, yeah.
Mom and him. I can't remember who that's from, but there's a certain like place in America where they definitely say mom and them. I don't know if it's New Orleans. I'm not going to say it because I don't know, bro. Yeah. I don't know. There's certain dialects and things. But okay, so go back to me. I can speak a little bit of French. I'm better at, my listening skills is better than my vocab because I haven't sharpened up in a while.
Featured any movie which is if you have to speak French on?
No, but I've had auditions. I've definitely had auditions. Wow. Yeah, they've given me French script and I've been like, yay! Je m'appelle Michael Douglas! Yeah, so, but the other one that they haven't given me auditions for, but again, which is just something I love, and it's more of a love because I stayed there for 6 months. But Japanese, I can understand basic Japanese. I can understand a little level of Japanese and have a little bit of vocab back. Again, I need to practice, but I have this thing about being super scared of getting it wrong, and I need to get it right, and I need to be better at that. So sometimes it gets hard with me.
So you learned the Japanese here in...
No, I learned it in Japan.
How long did you stay in
6
Japan?
months. Yeah. I did a little bit of traveling. Yeah.
Okay. Just to go and learn a language. That's great.
It was more for me to teach a language. I was teaching English.
Okay.
And I was also helping out in the church. Yeah. So it was more of a mission. It was 6 months Philippines and then 6 months Japan.
Getting money and at the same time also getting to know another language.
Yeah, and do you know what was funny? Is the teaching, actually, because it was voluntary. So it was very much like, it was voluntary. So yeah, it was tough. It was tough to be able to figure all of that out. But I was 18 and supported.
So back to our question, are you guys going for the...
No, I don't think we're going for
the talent is
the
speaking?
talent is speaking. I mean, the talent has always been speaking.
Yeah. I mean, I won't lie. I mean, a lot of British artists are really good. Even creatives, even singers.
Yeah.
But it's just that probably maybe they've not gotten that spotlight that Americans do have.
But I'm glad they are, because shout out to, because we always do, because I'm a black male, we always do talk about the black men, but shout out to the females. Like, there are black females that have been killing it and are killing it. And unfortunately, like, a lot of the talent that's come out of the UK slips under that, the darker skin radar, where they've been in things forever. Chiwetel has been in things for years. Years. Chiwetel has been in things for years, yeah? And then 12 Years a Slave comes out and everyone pretends like he's a new actor. Like, he's been in things for years. He's been doing stuff for years. He's been here and he's been a consistently good actor. So it's nice that these people are having the platform that they are able to. And it's also nice that people are giving them that chance. And one of the questions that people will usually ask is, at this time where everyone's hiring black people, do you not feel that it's like one of the diversity quota boxes? Yes, but also, I also feel like this is my opportunity to get someone who looks like me on TV, so I'm going to do it. Yeah. Because I remember I was working for a company, Secret Cinema, and I remember when I first joined it was very much like, have you ever been to Secret Cinema? No, I haven't, because it's never really appealed to someone who looks like me. And it was funny, because then when it was like, oh, we're going to put black people on the posters, or they're going to have me up there, up front of that, it'd be like, but black people don't come here. And they'd be like, yeah, because they haven't seen someone who looks like me. When they do see someone who looks like me, they can then go, oh, we can come here. That's allowed. That's just unfortunately, the way that sometimes it works. So sometimes you do have to take that opportunity where they're going, oh, we're just going to lean into the ethnicity.
Do you think market research is also pushing a lot of black people?
I think it's more of a trust thing of, has this ever been accessible to us before? Okay. So suddenly it's accessible to us. Okay. It's just for business, right? Or you don't want us to be if this is just money. Okay,
that's what I'm trying to know. If directors are just pushing that agenda because they are making money out of...
They could be.
Or if they are, it's just something that they think is a storyline that they can...
I think it partially is. But I think that what I find is, dwelling on that sometimes can stop you from jumping into the opportunity and turning it into something more than it is. They could be doing it for greed issues. They have no idea that actual greed thing and your intention, it could be used for something bigger. Yeah. Because you're like, yeah, everyone does. I've got black friends now because I did a film with a black man. It's bigger than that now, because now you've done that. It's a ripple effect. You threw the stone in the water. Now there's this massive ripple. You're just happy you threw a stone in the water. This ripple is affecting everything.
Every black person on set.
So like, it is that thing of sometimes when you do see the situation and be like, my guy just wants to throw a stone. I don't want to be the stone. And then when you realise, if I'm the stone, that ripple is going to be, and then what? Everyone starts chucking stones in this water and we can all do it. Sometimes you got to be that. So got to see it as an opportunity.
I was doing my research and I was looking for the first 5 black British movies. Unfortunately, I don't see any movie from 2020 featuring in, and I was like, what has happened over the time? Because probably I came to UK 6 years ago, and most of the movies that I saw in the first 5 black British movies were all old movies. What is happening to the movie industry now?
Well, it's hard because...
The black British movie
I think that it's still going. I mean, they did Rye Lane not too long ago. There was another one. Oh, there was a thingy, Michael.
Is this
let me try to
recently
remember his
that you
name.
guys did? I mean, I was just, it was a research that I was
Yeah.
trying to do to get to know the first five. Maybe from the, what do you call it? The article that I was reading.
Yeah.
They compiled those.
The guy who
for
was in Top
themselves.
Boy. I'm trying to remember
He-
his
they
name.
be
Michael
timeless. So
Yeah. Oh, was it like timeless movies? Yeah, because I feel like sometimes they want to keep a culture. I will say this. I feel like they want to keep a culture of black film, black British culture. They want to keep it advertised in one way and one way only. And those things work for them. For example, as you said, one of the biggest things that's come out now is Top Boy. Top Boy is a production. It's great. It does what it does. It's also about, it's got the rap, it's got drill rap, it's got guys shotting drugs, guys living in the States, and that kind of lifestyle. Cool. That's one part of black Britishness that happens. Then before, if you go back, we've got Attack the Block. Ooh, same thing. Go back a little bit more. What else have you got? Adulthood. Those things were all praised and universal to the point where I talk to people from other countries and that's the stuff that they've seen from our country. But there's not really a healthy amount of showing the other parts of black culture in British films. Wasn't Yardie British? I'm sure that came out like a year.
I think Top Boy was the first black British movie that I watched when I came into UK.
Series.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was because when I was in Ghana, I've never seen any black British movie. All that I was watching was Hollywood. I grew up watching a lot of Hollywood stuff. Get me, and even when some people mention of certain celebrities, I go, I don't know. They go like, you have a studio and you don't know about this.
That's cruel. You can't know everything. That's cruel. That's so cruel. That's so funny. How can you? That's so rude.
So don't you know? I was like, I don't know him. But it's good though. But he was trying to let me know that, look, if you're in an industry, you should try as much as possible to get to know the people. The fact that, I mean, you stayed in Ghana, if you watch a lot of Hollywood stuff, doesn't mean that when you're in London, you forget about industry or whatever. So you should know certain things, of which I took it as a good criticism that, look, Fiifi, you need to know certain people in the industry, of which I'm doing that now. Yeah. Because before, I was like far away from the British entertainment industry and I'm doing my stuff and they go like, how can you be in London and you don't know anything about the industry that you are in? Yeah.
It's important. I do feel like a lot of the plays, and sorry, go back to your other question of why I think there might have been a drought. I think one of the things is, again, with the kind of hype that was happening from the backlash of BLM when everyone was like, oh, we're inclusive and trying to help. A lot of the actors and people who've been trying to get their stuff off the ground over here, they got moved on to bigger things. So, like, they've been trying to push a black British film over here. Cool, they tried it like 5 times, wasn't really working. We weren't as receptive or brought up. This American person was like, oh, you're a writer, come over here. So you start working on something over there. Then suddenly, oh, I remember this person. Didn't they do something from over here? And suddenly we're like, can you come back here and do stuff? So what you find happens sometimes is they do stuff here. It's all in the quiet. We don't know about it. It's not publicized. Then they go to America. Suddenly they're on something. Then suddenly all this old footage of all these other things that they did over here is suddenly revamped. But it's almost like a system because that helps every streaming platform because the streaming platforms, they love to piggyback off the hottest topic. If I'm suddenly the hot topic and suddenly there's all this other content that they can put on all these streaming platforms and fight over and buy because everyone now wants to see the Michael Douglas story or the Michael Douglas film, it generates that and it helps that. So there's some sort of system or work in play that also kind of benefits every party that of a way that those things work. I can't specifically say or speak on that one thing and say that that's what it is, but I would definitely say that there's multiple parts of why it could appear that way.
Do you think this...
Sorry, the drink's good.
Thank you. Do you think this whole introduction of social media and other streaming platform has really helped a lot of actors, unlike before that we only had the traditional mainstream TV where it was very difficult for a young director or even a young content creator like me to put my content on do you think this has really, really helped a lot of people to
I think it's
come?
elevated.
Yeah.
Because I think it took the power out of the people who told us what to do and what to like. Like, watch this movie. Why? Because we've told you this actor's really good. Okay. So now we're all running down to the cinema
PM, you have to watch it.
So we'll watch it. But now, because it's up to us, now we can be like, okay, this acclaimed actor that everyone's telling me that is great. I don't really like any of his movies. I'm seeing this really niche movie that somebody made on a really small budget. And now I'm getting to see that. This was made in El Salvador. This was made in Chile. This was made in some other guy. I don't know why I named South America twice, but this was made in Mozambique. It was made somewhere else, basically. And someone make a film and it could be for a national audience.
Yeah.
Now it's an international audience just because of these streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Now your audience have grown exponentially. Now you are able to find your tribe amongst everyone else, which is amazing. Art is very reflective, and sometimes those films are very personal and is a piece of you, and you're able to give it out, and sometimes it's not received well in the area that you are in. Put it on a streaming platform, you find these places where suddenly it makes sense and your idea is able to grow and you're able to feel validated in your idea.
So, Michael,
Yes.
your first best 5 movies of all time, of which you have not featured in.
Come on!
Since you were a child, you've been loving movies, so your first
I have
5
Okay.
movies
Okay.
that you have never featured in. Yeah.
Rush Hour 2.
Okay, number 5.
Rush Hour 2. No, not even number 5.
Okay.
That's number 1.
Okay.
I find it really hard to not be biased about how much I love that movie.
Yeah.
Rush Hour 2 just completed. It was just, thank you so much, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, for doing an amazing movie. Yes, number 1. Number 2 would probably be, Matrix was always my favorite film of all time, the first one.
Yeah.
I always loved The Matrix. It was a fantastic movie. I would also say, I thought that, I'm trying not to say the obvious ones that were so acclaimed and that obvious, but the ones that meant stuff for me, the adventures that they took me on, the movies that grasped me. Black Panther was a moment. Black Panther was a moment. So I'll put that up there. I don't know where to put it up there.
Yeah.
What's weird is, controversial. If I'm putting them up there, I think Wakanda Forever probably impacted me more because of Chadwick's death and everything that it meant because of the first one.
Yeah.
But I thought the first one was better than the second one. But I think that they still hold both. So I put them together as the legacy of Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther. Yeah, they're together somewhere. And then for number 5, what is a movie that I always find myself going back to and I can't stop going back to, and it was good and it was solid and it was just perfect and I enjoyed every part of it. Without saying the obvious one, is it obvious? Parasite.
Parasite. Okay.
Parasite was the first was not the first A24. It was an A24 movie that I heard everybody chatting about, and everyone telling me, and no one told me what it was about. Everyone was just saying it was good, and that really can grind me because I'm like, no, like everyone can't just love it, like no. So now I'm actually against it. So I remember I tried to watch it one time, and I was watching the beginning scene, and because it's just the beginning scene is quite slow because it's just you just get introduced to this family, and I was like, nope, because of all the subtitles, I was like, nope, this ain't the right time. I need to absorb this. So then I sat down, watched it, and was like, I'm already in the no attitude. Then the first twist starts to happen, and you're like, I know where this is going. Then it doesn't go there. Then it doesn't go there again, and then it doesn't go there about 5 times. And I was like, I was thoroughly entertained by this movie. They did very well on keeping my interest from beginning to end. As soon as they started getting into, and I'm trying not to spoil it because again, if you watch this movie, you have to watch it without anything. I would say that. And then let me just throw in Peanut Butter Falcon because I would say that Peanut Butter Falcon was an amazing movie. Shia LaBeouf. Shout out to that.
Okay. And I know this question might be tricky, or
Never.
I mean, you are free not to answer. What is your highest paid movie role? Or which?
What was my highest paid
Which
movie?
project? Okay, if you're not going to mention that, which movie role paid you
The most?
Yeah, the most. If you don't want to mention the money
Okay,
for
and
us.
it's movie.
Or any.
movie.
It
Okay.
can be
I
commercial.
would say commercial.
Or okay, let's go to commercial first.
Okay, commercial Disney.
Okay. Oh, the father in Disney. Second movie.
Only because I was there on more days than the rest of them.
Okay.
Well, actually, how long was I?
Did you have kids? You hear the guy when they see you on the train and all things. Do they recognize you?
No, do you know it? The only time I get recognised is actually, funny enough, in my church when I was about 18. Shout out to Anushka McEwen again. She decided, because I danced and I was getting to uni at the time, to do the actions for the worship songs for a fat generation of our church. I've been doing that. So there's a load of kids that will run up to me and be like, "Oh, you're the guy." And I'm like, I forgot that I did that when I was, I'm 34. I forgot I did it when I was 18. So, do you know what I mean? I've got like kids and be like, "We saw you every Sunday." And I'm like, why? And I completely miss. So that's the only time I really get recognition. People also think I look very different from my pictures, which I find very odd.
I think you
when they see me in person.
Difference. Most of your commercial, I was like, that I was looking, I was like, wow. It was very difficult for me to recognize you. Because you have a different character when it comes to the commercial aspects, and you have a different character when it comes to the movie aspects too. So it's and for commercial, I think you have to be witty and that kind of fun.
You do, yeah. And like, I mean, one of the main commercials that I'm still on, thank God. So that's not even wood. And that I'm still on is Surreal and Surreal Cereal, and it started off as the fact that they already had an advert established making jokes about people with famous names.
Okay.
I happened to be an actor who was trying to audition for one of their commercials and happened to have a famous name. They incorporated that, it worked, it was funny. They then used me again, and they started writing things because they know my sense of humor now. That worked again, and it worked again. So we end up working together a few times. And it's been great.
How many days do you have to spend on a commercial shoot?
Not long. It depends on the shoot. Not really long. I mean, a lot of times nowadays we're doing it for content. So it's like, you and I both know TikTok time is the time that people are holding. So you're really most of the time just trying to hit that good 15 seconds of that person's gonna, So it could be a minute long, and then we've got these little bits that we do, little version of it, the shorter version. But like most of the time we're trying to get a minute.
At least they give the script to you guys ahead of time.
They do. So it should take less than 24 hours. Should take less than 24 hours.
The highest paid movie role.
I would definitely probably say, because I was on it the longest, Tarzan. Tarzan, I was on there for 2 weeks.
Okay. Was it based here? I say Tarzan was.
Okay, let me stop you this, No, because everyone else is, and I'm like, it's so funny. It's so funny, Let's think about this, guys. Let's think about it. Tarzan, it wasn't filmed here because they filmed it in Africa, but they used me, a British black guy, because they couldn't find black men in Africa to do that role. So they outported from the UK. Of course it was filmed here. Of course. I wouldn't be in it if they did.
No.
Anytime someone asks me, I'm always like, no, because I was in it. They didn't fly me out to Africa because they needed to find black men out there. Like, it's all good. So, every time, I just find it so funny. But that also is a credit to the team, because it did look like we was in the African forest. We was in Watford. We're in the studio, like...
I was thinking you guys were in South Africa.
No. To get Samuel Jackson out there, fair enough. To get Michael D. Douglas out there.
Was it done in summer, right? Summer.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson was there. Yeah, he was there for 1 day, and
I was it shot in summer, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
there was no leaf just falling.
No. No, do you know what?
No wind just
What
blowing.
was funny was we had a fake waterfall, and a lot of times, this was the first time I understood what wet paint was, because if you was at risk of getting drenched, then you get paid more. And I remember that there was a lot of times where we had to stand at the back and we was just near this waterfall, and it was just like,
Yeah.
and we had a spear or something, and it was like, nah, and then, like you were just wet forever. And then one day I think it was cold or it was raining, and then I remember we was all in robes, because we was all basically naked. So we was all in robes, and then it was like, robes, rolling, action, and there's like cut, robes, and then like 200 extras were put on these robes, and we would all be like, and it'd be it was funny, good times.
Well, you get to know that it wasn't shot in or filmed in South Africa.
No.
But some backyard in England.
Oh, green screen. We got that.
Okay. Michael, my last question. What is life to you?
It's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
I think life is a lot of adventures with new friends I haven't done yet.
Okay, that's great.
I feel like that is very much, that speaks to who I am. There's a lot of yet to be made friends and a lot of adventures to go on with those people, and that's what I think life is for me. Yeah.
Any project that you're working on at the moment?
Ooh, yes, actually, yes. So we did a series, pilot for a series, and it was called Down South, and it was successful and it went really well, and we was gonna do this whole series, but the director was like, we're gonna do a feature film. So we have a feature film, Down South. I don't know the date when it's coming out, but it will definitely be shouted out on my Instagram at d.dugz. At ddugs. But yeah, that is something that I'm very excited about. I play a dad who is a kind of a music mogul, and he's in a reconstituted family. His first wife died, and he has a child with that first wife, and he now has a new family with new kids and this child. And I wouldn't say he's the most accommodating father, and it's interesting to watch me as a villain. It's interesting to watch me as a bad guy. Let's just say that. It's interesting.
Thank you very much for coming to my set, Lifestyle with Fiifi. And I hope you enjoyed your whole interview.
I did. I had a great time. Thank you so much. You asked great questions. Great questions.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be important, but very, very important to be nice. Michael's social media is on my screen, so you can follow him and see most of the works that he has done. I mean, this guy has done a lot of work. I know. When am I going to get the percentage of those commercials?
I mean, first of all, you got to get me on the commercial. Let's go with that. And then once you get me on it, I will do what I do. And then once I get paid, you get your percentage. Like, boom.
Okay, guys, it's nice to be important, but very, very important to be nice. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. And from us, we say bye.